Good afternoon. Today in English 3, we went over the literary periods that we've already discussed and talked about the shifts in the way they see different things. We started with three major groups: the Federalist, the Romantics, and the Realist, who we've been working with for the past about 4 weeks. We also talked about three different sections: the way they viewed people, the way they viewed nature, and the subjects of their writings. Just want to do a quick review of what we talked about today. First, for the people, the Federalists thought people were perfectible, that they could improve if they learned how to. So you have people like Benjamin Franklin writing books about how to be the perfect human if you just work hard enough and follow these steps. With the Romantics, they thought people were flawed and imperfect. So again, they looked at nature as the ideal. We'll get to nature later. They were still interested in people, but mainly the flawed, crazy, weird ones. With the Realists, they just thought people were interesting, period. All of those stories, the good, the bad, the crazy, the weird, interesting. And that was it. They just wanted to know more about people. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Nature changed quite a bit, and we've talked about literary periods being a pendulum that swings back and forth, things that change. Nature we can really see in that way. The Federalists viewed nature as something to be explored, but only secondary to man's progress. So they're looking to expand the nation. They see nature in the way and say we need to go past that and see what's out there. So nature, not very important. What's important is man's progress. With the Romantics, nature is something that should always be cherished. It's an ideal that man should hope to be like. So they try to change from the Federalists who were taking away nature or not honoring nature, just kind of plowing through it for the name of exploration. But now they look at it as what man should try to hope for and learn from. With the Realist, it's pretty cool. It can be used as symbols in literature, but nothing really more than that. So with the Realist, we see things like Kate Chopin's The Storm, where the storm represents something bad on the horizon or something crazy within the marriage or the house. With Ethan Frome, we see examples like the pickles and the snow and the colors. But again, it's not necessarily honored. It's just there. All right? So we see this pendulum starting here where no one cares about nature, getting to where it's nothing but nature, and swinging back a little bit to where nature's cool, but it's not necessarily the most important thing. Finally, the subject of the writings. With the Federalist, again, wanted to make a better man in order to make a better nation. So better man equals better nation. With the Romantics, they also wanted to make a better man and improve. However, they weren't concerned with society as a whole or with the nation. They were more concerned with the individual. You could also say humanity in this blank. So how to make a better individual. And finally, the Realists get away from this philosophical discussion here. It's not about making man better. Before they can make man better, they want to understand what is man. That's a question these guys weren't really asking. They start asking in Romantics a little bit. They don't really start to ask it until here. So they start talking about all the interesting stories of everyday people that we've overlooked for so long. All right? So that's the big differences between the Federalist, the Romantic, and the Realist so far. In about two weeks or so, I'm going to start with the Modernist and do the same deal, compare them to the lit periods that we've studied this year.